Today, in the last of our riding videos, we are going to go places. It might be the Dams of Darley, it might be Loch Winnoch, wherever the wind takes us, because that is the magic of cycling. You just leave your house and go places. Why are we gonna do a cyclopath? Because people believe cyclopaths are the safest place to be. In a way it is, there is no cars, but there are the most dangerous creatures, which are
dogs,
children, children walking about, families, dogs in a leash, inexperienced cyclists that don't know how to position themselves on the road. So most important thing is keep your eyes peeled. So we are going to go out and have fun, but be safe.
Like any machine, a bicycle will work better and last longer if you care for it properly. Get into the habit of checking your bike regularly. Simple checks and maintenance can help you enjoy hassle-free riding and avoid repairs. The M-Check is a simple way to make sure your bike is safe to ride. First, tyres. Check your tyres to make sure they have enough air in them. If the tyre is soft, then attach your pump to the valve and pump it up. The two most common types of valve are Presta and Schrader. Presta is usually long and thin, and Schrader is usually thicker and slightly shorter. The recommended tyre pressure, or PSI, is usually written somewhere on the tyre. Then make sure your tyres are in good condition. Spin the wheel slowly and check for wear. This tyre's tread is very worn off, and the tyre should be replaced. Next, brakes. Check the front brake by applying the brake and pushing the bike forwards. The back of the bike should lift up. Check the back brake by applying the brake and pulling the bike forwards. The bike should skid. Check that your front wheel and stem do not move independently and that your handlebar clamp bolts are tight. Perform this check by standing in front of the bike, holding the front wheel between your knees and twisting the handlebars. Pedals. Make sure your pedals spin smoothly and that your cranks are on tight and don't creak. Saddle. Check your seat post isn't loose and that you haven't exceeded the limit marked on the seat post. Rear wheel. The rear wheel should be tightly fitted and the quick release lever should be secure in the closed position. Chain. Your chain should be kept clean and oiled. Keeping your chain clean and oiled is important for the smooth running of your bike. Don't use too much oil as this will pick up more dirt and make the chain more difficult to clean. Tools. Check you've got your essential tools before setting out. A spare inner tube, a puncture repair kit, a hand pump, and a multi-tool. And of course, some water. To find cycle routes and plan your journey, we'd recommend going to visitscotland.com/cycling routes. You can also use Sustrans website to find a route near you, which has lots of useful information such as distance and surface type on the route pages. When you're planning your journey, use your judgment on what route to take. Think about the weather, traffic conditions, your ability, experience and confidence levels. As mentioned earlier, make sure you take a puncture repair kit, spare inner tubes, a hand pump, basic tools such as Allen keys. Bike lights can help you be seen in tunnels or in low light. Remember that front and rear lights are a legal requirement if riding after dark. Look out for signage on the way to your National Cycle Network route. Route signs bracketed with numbers lead you towards a route. When you see the red numbered route signs without brackets, this lets you know that you're now on the route. In addition to a number, some routes may also have a name, so these may appear on signs too. Using the train to get to a cycle route makes it possible to explore further and to make cycle trips sustainable. It means you can sit back and enjoy the scenery. It is free to take your bike on a train in Scotland, but on many rail routes you must make a reservation as there is limited space on the train. Some trains don't require a booking for cycles and operate on a first-come basis, but other routes do require a reservation. To find out if bicycle reservations are required on a particular train, use the National Rail website. So we're going to travel to Loch Winnoch along the National Route 7. Approaching Glasgow from the south, National Cycle Network Route 7 connects Loch Winnoch, Johnston and Paisley in Renfrewshire to Scotland's largest city. We're going to be travelling along the mainly traffic-free Loch Winnoch Loop Line Railway Path and the Paisley and Clyde Railway Path. North of the River Clyde, National Cycle Network Route 7 is a scenic, mostly traffic-free link between Glasgow's West End and Balloch in Loch Lomond and the Trossachs National Park, and it forms the southern section of the long-distance Lochs and Glens Way route. At certain points in the route, you may see slow signs written on the path. This particular stretch is quite narrow and has a few blind spots, so make sure you slow down to avoid collisions with other path users. The route can sometimes require you to cross roads. Slow down and cross the road with care, or at busier roads, there will often be pedestrian crossings available. As you cycle, watch out for cyclists and pedestrians using other entrances to the route. Take care when passing people with dogs and give them plenty of room, whilst being prepared to slow down and stop if necessary. If you're overtaking from behind, be sure to ring your bell and thank them after passing. Just as you would on the road, on busy stretches of the route, keep to the left as much as possible. You may need to overtake pedestrians. When you do, make sure you give them plenty of space. Use your bell if you don't think oncoming pedestrians have seen you. Although there aren't any on this journey, you may at some point need to overtake a horse on a shared path. If this happens, make sure to slow down when you see someone on horseback and call out a greeting, alerting both horse and rider to your presence. Remember that horses are flight animals and may react to anything they are unsure of. Calling out before passing will make it less likely for the horse to be spooked, reducing the injury not only to horse and rider, but also to you, the cyclist. Some routes may take you to a road. You may have to cross a road or travel along one for a period of time. You can use Sustrans website and the OS online mapping to see in advance how many on-road sections to expect. So we're just slowing down here, going from a minor road onto a major road. Gerardo's signalling right, and once the way is clear, we're crossing the road and joining the cycle path on the left-hand side. Watch for cars that might be parked on the cycle lane. If you need to overtake them, make sure you look back, signal and overtake a good distance from the car door. Now, as you can see, the sun is quite low here, so just being aware this could obstruct visibility for cars. They may not see you immediately. So we're coming up to a junction here, looking behind, signalling and moving lanes into the right hand lane as this is going straight forward. Filtering through traffic here and reaching the advanced stop lines and waiting for the lights to turn green. The lights have turned green now, so we're signalling right and we're waiting for the way to go clear. Now this is quite a complex junction, so you may want to dismount and use the pedestrian crossing instead. That's totally fine. Now we are waiting in this keep clear box for the left hand lane to be clear for us to cross over into this minor road. There is a car in the right hand lane and we've stopped in front of this car looking through the windscreen and the back windscreen, watching out for oncoming traffic. Now once we're confident that the way is clear, we set off and cycle down this minor road. Now it's quite a narrow road and it's quite bumpy, so just watching out for cars that might be using the road, and we can see the blue cycle network sign in front of us there, so we know that we're in the right place, and we're just going to follow this road round as it meets the cycle path again. And that's us back on the cycle path again. Bollards are placed at certain points of routes to encourage users to slow down because, for example, a blind spot is coming up. Make sure you pass them with care. Before approaching tunnels like this one, it's a good idea to ring your bell. This will alert anyone coming in the opposite direction that you're approaching. If it's a particularly long tunnel, you might want to put your bike lights on. This bridge is quite narrow and it's difficult to see if there's anyone travelling through it due to the trees. So make sure you approach slowly and ring your bell before cycling through it and before you exit. This will alert others that you're coming through. Similarly, listen for other people and give way. Just like the bollards, you may occasionally encounter other types of barriers. Again, these are often placed to make cyclists slow their speed on the approach to a junction. They also work to exclude motorbikes or to prevent illegal access by other users. Negotiating these barriers involves a bit of tight turning, so if you're not sure about your control skills, then you might want to dismount and walk through the barrier instead. Here, we're approaching another barrier as the route has been interrupted by a busy road. I've dismounted here and I'm going to use the pedestrian crossing to help me get across safely. Along the route, there are signs pointing out various destinations and how far away they are. We've just cycled the wrong way here, so we need to make a sharp turn right, slowing down and making sure the way is clear. We can now loop back round to follow the route, which will take us to Loch Wynnach. Where the route's quiet, you can ride side by side. Great for having a natter as you ride. Keep your eyes peeled for many interesting things to see along the route, like commissioned artworks, interesting mileposts, and interpretation boards. Cycling allows you to experience Scotland from a new perspective and immerse yourself in our amazing landscapes, history and culture. The slower speed of two-wheeled travel versus four-wheeled motoring allows you to see and absorb much more at your own pace. And we've arrived at Castle Semple Country Park. Here you'll find toilets, picnic sites, signposted walks, wildlife watching opportunities, water sports and a country ranger service. When you're ready to head home, you can cycle back along the network or take the train from Loch Wynnach train station. Remember, the most important thing about using the National Cycle Network is to have fun, be considerate and enjoy this free and iconic national asset. I hope you found this video to be useful. Make sure you like, comment and share it if you did. Thank you and goodbye.